to work. Back to work. So here are the films that have made the top 10 so far. Of course, as always, The Social Network. Very, 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 very good films. Film. Honestly, I think it's gonna place top 3, maybe number 1. Who knows? Maybe someone might just even come out of nowhere and place number 1. But so far, Social Network is doing very, very well. Let's move on. The second film that had made the list, like I said, these are not in order, but Saving Private Ryan made the list for sure. This movie was like my number 1 for the longest time growing up. It came out, in 1998. It should have won Best Picture. It didn't, but it won Best Director by Steven Spielberg. He deserves it. The direction by Steven Spielberg is phenomenal. He's a genius. And the cinematography as well is really good. I mean, there's a lot of great things to say about this movie, but we'll say that in more content, other content in the future. Okay, so let's move on. The third film that made it is Breakfast at Tiffany's. Now, if you really know me, this is like a guilty pleasure movie. I'm not afraid to flaunt it though. I love Breakfast at Tiffany's so much, and mostly because of Audrey Hepburn's performance as Holly Golightly. I think she's amazing. Her voice is amazing, and the way she says words, her inflections, the way she sings, her accent, I think everything works in this film for her. I think it's one of her best performances ever, and I just have a really good time watching it. It's a delight, really. And of course I have her poster right here. I'm sure you've seen it already if I cut it in the beginning. Wonderful film. I come back to it a lot. That's the most important thing about the top 10 list, is that rewatchability is a big factor. If I've seen this movie more than 10 times, it's gonna make the list. And so far I've seen these movies countless number of times throughout the years of my existence. So let's move on. Number 4, American Beauty. Now this film, growing up during high school, this film, I remember watching it basically every day for a week. I was obsessed with it. I think the writing, the direction, the cinematography, I think it's an almost perfect film. There's of course some faults to it, but I think it's just a gorgeous film. And the fact that Sam Mendes, the director, it's his first time directing a film, his debut. He won an Oscar for Best Picture, Best Director. Yeah, definitely a classic for sure. American Beauty. I love watching this film. I love going back to it again and again. I get new information watching these films, rewatching them. There's always something you can pick out from them, and that's always the fun part. So let's move on. The 5th film that has made the top 10, this one I go back to again and again and again, is Flight, directed by Robert Zemeckis. Fun fact is Robert Zemeckis and I share the same birthday, May 14th. And what's funny too, I actually share the same birthday with Mark Zuckerberg and George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, of course. But I really, really love this movie. First of all, because of Denzel Washington's performance as an alcoholic who's not willing to admit he's an alcoholic. But this is a really good movie. I really, really liked watching this movie. I think it's because when you know the ending of a movie, it's more satisfying to go back to it again and again, especially living in an uncertain world. We don't know how things end, so it's good to go back to movies that we are familiar with. We know how they end. You know that these people are going to be okay. Speaking of that, final film number 6. There's still 4 more spots to be filled, but like I said, these are not in order from 1 to 10. But this movie in particular, if you're a real one, you know I've talked about this movie plenty of times, and that is Chef. I absolutely love Chef. It is by far the most easygoing film I've ever seen. Very, very, very little conflict. I have so much fun watching it. There's some great music, some good food being cooked. Just fun acting, direction by Jon Favreau. He has an all-star cast: Sofia Vergara, Robert Downey Jr., Dustin Hoffman, Scarlett Johansson. And it runs like an independent film, but it's just so easygoing, so fun to watch. I highly recommend it. Go watch Chef if you haven't seen it already. So just to recap the films that have made it already: The Social Network, Saving Private Ryan, Chef, Breakfast at Tiffany's, American Beauty, and Flight. So 6 movies have made the top 10. Who's going to fill the rest of the spots, and who's going to place number 1? We'll find out soon. Part 2, I guess part 3, or I don't even know anymore, but the rest of the movies list is coming soon, so look forward to that. Let's go on with the vlog. That wasn't too bad now, was it? Yeah, so originally I had a different plan for this vlog. It was gonna be the 100 movies list part 2. Had some technical difficulties, so obviously that's not what happened. Hope you enjoyed this top 10 list. I'm gonna be coming back with some other little footage, other little vlogs, and of course the One Horse Town podcast. Please go check that out. But yeah, the part 2 list will come soon. I'm just trying to figure out the format. If you liked part 1 and you like that format, I might just go ahead and do that. Let me know in the comments if you're willing to communicate and, get in there. I have no idea what I'm doing anymore.